Welcome back to Horns High Studios for another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder. That means each one of these videos is less than 666 seconds or 11 minutes and 6 seconds. You know the deal. So let's get down to it. Don't want to waste any time. And please take a second and like this video and comment below. It helps it get out there to more people. So I appreciate that. Now I'm going to try to do this video a little bit different than some of these that I've done before. I'm taking the PowerPoint out. I hope you like this better. I'm just trying it out. I know some of you really do like the PowerPoint, but I do think this will improve things. So I'm going to try this out. So let me know down below what you think. So the story of Cayden Young is yet another sad tale in the Idaho 4 story. Now, while his name isn't really part of the people that make up the Idaho 4, there are some ties that are worth mentioning. Now, I've come to realize that in this case, it seems that everything is somehow connected in some sort of diseased web that traps young, vulnerable people, uses them, and then casts them aside when they're used up. It's really terrible. Now, Cayden was born in 2000 in Boise, Idaho, and was a star quarterback on his high school team. He was well known and very fun and, very outgoing person, very well liked. He went to the University of Idaho and he majored in investigative journalism. Hearing that makes me wonder if somehow he might have been onto something about the Idaho 4 case. I mean, what better case for somebody into investigative journalism to be looking into than that? But he was conveniently eliminated, and it makes you wonder, was it really intentional or was this accidental? The same way that Brent Kopacka may have possibly been eliminated. Getting rid of witnesses or people who knew too much, possibly. That's nothing new in the sordid world of, crime and that sort of thing. Now, we know that Kaylee was really into true crime. And I've also wondered if she could have been onto something maybe going on there in Moscow. There's so many things happening. I've speculated that she might have been looking into the Hunter Lindau drowning. And also I had heard that Ethan knew some things and was maybe thinking about going to the police. Now, rumors are out there about that. I don't know if that's true. Or maybe she was looking into Hannah Cleary. Did Kaylee know Cayden? I don't know. But if so, maybe they were looking into things together, because as we know, the true crime community seems to find each other, just like all of us. Now, Cayden was the president of the Alpha Kappa Lambda fraternity and had made the dean's list multiple times and was set to graduate in 2024. So he seemed to have it all together, but he was addicted to substances. He knew Emma and Demetrius. That's not good. And I'm assuming that they were his supplier, and possibly he may have been the person at the frat house that was dealing that sort of thing. Don't know, but certainly makes you wonder. He was the president. Now, they say 50% of fraternity members leave college either addicted to substances, alcohol, or both. That is insane. And it makes me wonder, why are these organizations still allowed to operate on our college campuses? This is just ridiculous. I mean, we know that the University of Idaho, 70% of their donations come from the Greeks. So that makes sense. Old Scott Green, seeing green, and he's not going to disrupt the money coming in from the fraternities and sororities. So there's your answer. Now, March 20th of 2023, Cayden bought a white powdery substance from Emma and Demetrius while he was in Seattle visiting a former fraternity member. Now, it was laced and he overdosed. And luckily, though, he was revived with Narcan and taken to Harborview Hospital, where he was checked out and then later released. Now, as if his night wasn't going bad enough, allegedly, Emma was the one who came to pick him up. And it was odd, he ends up 83 miles away in Centralia, Washington, at a different friend's place, another fraternity buddy. He was using again, even after what he had been through earlier in the evening. It means obviously an addicted individual. This is just such a horrible story. He had so much potential. Now, Emma knew him from Moscow, and Demetrius, of course, was from Washington. So we've heard that this is a big substance and trafficking corridor. So that's what I've been told. So it ruins just so many lives, and Cayden's was just another one of those. Now, Cayden was found unresponsive and blue early that next morning. For some reason, his friend waited 30 minutes to call 911, but it was too late. I'm not sure what he was waiting for, but what is it with these people over there and calling 911? I mean, are they struggling trying to remember these 3 digits? Do we need to simplify it? I mean, seriously, just completely ridiculous. His toxicology showed multiple substances, including opiates and benzos. So that is a lethal combination. So the next day, Emma and Demetrius are arrested, and they end up in jail for a couple months awaiting their hearings. But both of them got their charges dismissed without prejudice, which means that they can charge them for it again later on. And you can see these hearings on YouTube. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, normally when that's the case, a person has become an informant, because if they don't produce what they're supposed to be informing them about, the state can still charge them for the crime. And in this case, Cayden's death. That's pretty serious. So Demetrius has a really, really long rap sheet involving kidnapping, SA, violent acts against women. And since 2019, he's not done any time for this stuff. He's got to be an informant. I mean, geez, allegedly, of course. Now, Cayden's story is a very sad one. The fact that the two, that were part of this crime are walking free is a tremendous injustice. There is something so rotten here. Are Emma and Demetrius informants? Were they informants for the Idaho 4 case? I mean, what do you guys think? There's so much going on here. Let me know down below. And I do want to say thank you to the members of the Horns High Club. You guys are awesome. You rock. I appreciate your support. And I appreciate all of you guys that watch these videos. You guys are great. And it makes me want to keep cranking out more. So we'll see you next time for another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder.